have storms going west coast and east coast. We'll start you off on the west coast, then we'll get you updated too with the severe weather back east. And again, a very action-packed pattern, and I don't know why every time this time of the night we get this showing up in the past 15 minutes, but you can see the trend of storminess coming in, and quite a cloudy and rainy and wet night in Southern California. In fact, the heavy surf advisory continues for those of you in Southern California. That's where most of the action is tonight and tomorrow morning. Still some rain across the Pacific Northwest, but you can see it's very, very light. Moving into Central and Southern California, you can see the heavier rains now from Southern California right up into the Central Valley. Heavier rains now from Santa Barbara into the Santa Monica Mountains at Los Flores Canyon so far, 4/10 of an inch. About a 1/4 of an inch of rain out in the San Fernando Valley at Chatsworth, and more rain coming in, and the rain all the way down towards San Diego. But you can see those heavier rains now in Orange County, and up towards the Grapevine you may actually see some snowfall tonight. Bay Area, scattered showers, a little bit of lightning and thunder possible down around Monterey and Carmel. Very cold atmosphere loft coming in, and that will help destabilize the atmosphere and lead to the storms. So the beat goes on there, and the temperatures respectively cooler because of the lack of sunshine. 62 in LA and San Diego. Kind of a chilly 34 Monday in Denver. Right now, temperatures haven't changed a whole lot in Denver, and they have cooled off a little bit with that rain coming down in the LA basin. Northwest, cloudy skies, temps still at 50 in Seattle, 47 Medford down in the Rogue Valley, and 39 in Boise. We've got the clouds, the rain we showed you on radar, and up above about 7,000 feet in the mountains of Southern California. Your best bet for the heavier snowfalls up around the Big Bear area, those ski resorts in the San Bernardino Mountains. Those mountains, the San Bernardinos here and the San Gabriels north of LA, where you'll find the snowfall. Down on the coast, it's raining now at the Civic Center. It's raining at LAX, and as you saw, it's raining just about everywhere in the basin. No earthquakes to report in Southern California. Likewise, in Northern and Central California, very, very quiet. Just one minor trembler. Oh, here they are, right here. Almost pointed to Lake Tahoe and called it a trembler. A couple of tremblers out there just south of Kings Canyon. No major problems with those. Nothing to report in the Pacific Northwest and Alaska. Back east, we had tornadoes around Houston. We had tornadoes in Florida, some damage on the west side of Houston, and a real mess now moving into the colder air in the northeast, and we could see some sleet, freezing rain, and even some snowfall over the next couple of days. In the short term, our concern is severe weather in the Florida Panhandle. You can see how these lines of storms are racing across the Panhandle into southern Georgia and the coastal areas of South Carolina, moving northeast at some 40 to 50 miles an hour. And we still have a tornado watch for some of you in southern Georgia and the northern parts of Florida and parts of the Panhandle, including Jacksonville, and that is up until 6 in the morning. Take a look at this line of storms, and it's been moving over the same area. This is what we call training. As a result, some of you have had tremendous amounts of rainfall, and again, the risk of flash flooding is very likely, and there's been a lot of lightning with these storms. Check out the forecast on Tuesday. And until we get that front through, still that risk of storms into Tampa and Orlando through the morning hours for the rush. And then as we get into the early morning commuting up around Bradford over towards Albany, some freezing rain. We'll have more live coverage from the northeast the next couple of days as this storm winds up. But again, it's heading up west of the mountains, and that means a fair amount of warm air. So those of you in the big cities, Boston, New York, Philadelphia, it's primarily rain and wind like we've seen most of this winter, and not snow. Some rain for the morning rush hour in Chicago, and that storm in California kind of dampens out with just a few leftover showers from the Bay Area up towards Redding and over towards Arcata and Crescent City. High temps, nothing out of the ordinary for here as we approach the final 5 or 6 weeks of winter, and as we go on through the week into the weekend, make those plans accordingly. Still fairly mild in Texas and Florida, some 70s and 80s showing up. Now over the weekend, we'll see somewhat colder air kind of skim the northern tier, so you need those heavier coats again around International Falls. And up in the ski resorts, after kind of a shaky weekend last weekend with the rainfall and then the colder temps, we'll have some cold air in for some late season skiing in the 60s, rebounding nicely through the southern plains. Some good outdoors weather if you can dodge the storms, and we've got quite a few of them. There's Wednesday's weather map, and in the interior of the northeast around Worcester and up towards Burlington, some snow, rain and wind along the coast. That is including the entire I-95 corridor. That moves out Then for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we'll see another system move across the eastern seaboard. More storms. Could they be severe? We'll keep you posted. Obviously, we're watching this very closely because you've had a couple of rounds of tornadoes in the past couple of weeks in Florida. There's your wet weather over the weekend, at least to start off the weekend. And then as we get into Saturday, a new storm heads into the west coast. More rain for the Bay Area, Washington and Oregon, and more storms along the Gulf of Mexico. Action-packed. Your local forecast is coming up after we check these extended outlooks.
I'm the best bleach.
I'm the best bleach.
I get rid of tough stains.
So do I. And I work on colors.
What Clorox Bleach does on whites, Clorox 2 does on colors. Clorox 2 Color